or PPTM. Now, the event highlights nations' diplomatic achievements from the previous year and presents its foreign policy priorities for the following year.
That's right, and to know further about the latest Indonesian Foreign Affairs Minister Sugiono press statement and his speech key points, we will now talk with Foreign Affairs Ministry Spokesperson at the Presidential Communication Office, Philips J. Vermonte. Good afternoon, Pak Philips. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
Thank you for coming to our studio, though. So, Indonesia's membership in BRICS has generated much buzz, right? But as highlighted by Minister Sugiono in his press statement earlier today, that this decision is actually not a defined policy, not an isolated one, but rather a reflection of Indonesia's free and active foreign policy, right? Can you elaborate more on why free and active, but we still join BRICS anyway?
Yeah, I think as the minister said, it's a reflection of our free and active foreign policy in many ways. Number one, it reflects on our strategic autonomy. That is, we decide ourselves which platform or international organization or international arrangement that we want to be a member of, and BRICS is one of them. And second, we are not in any way abandoning our free and active foreign policy by joining BRICS, because we are at the same time, we are a member of various other platform organizations. We are a member of G20, where you have countries from the global north, the US, UK, Australia, and others. But at the same time, you have members of G20 coming from developing countries such as Indonesia and India and others. And also, we are a member of APEC, where you have all this global north and global south, so-called global south country in APEC. Right. And now with BRICS, maybe one might think that this platform or this organization is only consisting of countries coming from developing countries. And for us, for Indonesia, as the foreign minister has said earlier, in the speech, we are trying to expand our network, number one. We are pursuing our economic interests to various platforms. And it's just natural that if there is an opportunity such as BRICS, of course, we want to be part of.
So we want to join, we join BRICS without abandoning other organizations that we have been part of, right?
That's
so
true.
What is the greatest benefit and what is the greatest goal by joining BRICS? Because many countries feel furious by Indonesia's decision by joining BRICS, right?
Well, they should not. I mean, many other countries join many other organizations as well. And as stated by the foreign minister, we are trying to get access to market. We're trying to get access for our products as well. And we are expanding and presenting our country as an investment destination.
Right.
And BRICS can also be a platform for trade, trade platform, free trade, if you will, if they are going that way. And there are many, and this is, in my view, this is an organization where the member countries focus mostly on economic cooperation. And I think Indonesia has every right to join any organization that would serve our national economic interests. So Indonesia has never been complaining about other countries joining any type of organization.
Why would other countries be complaining about Indonesia?
Because we understand every country would pursue their national interest.
True.
And at the same time, as the president, our president has stated as well, we want to be a country that engage with any other countries that would share our goals.
Yeah.
Another statement from the minister that we would like to highlight is where he described BRICS as a bridge for developing nations. Now, what concrete steps can Indonesia take to bring that vision to life?
Yeah, within BRICS, there are economic powerhouses. Right? China is one, India is another one, and they are having so many linkages with the global north, Indonesia included. So Indonesia is also, for example, if you are looking for example, Indonesia is a member of ASEAN, right? And ASEAN actually has various platform with so many dialogue partners or so many partners. ASEAN has dialogue with EU. ASEAN has dialogue with the US and with Australia and others. And Indonesia can actually probably going into that direction by proposing, for example, deeper economic cooperation between our region and Southeast Asia, where you have Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, and BRICS country. So that is something that, in my view, can be done. And there are a lot of many others trade or economic initiatives that Indonesia can actually propose to the other members of BRICS.
It's really interesting because it's not only BRICS but also OECD that Indonesia is pursuing to become a full member of. But before touch upon OECD, I'd like to ask you about the comment made by President Donald Trump, because BRICS has the vision to use, whether it's going to be realized or not, it's going to use single currency. And the president-elect of America, Donald Trump, said that he would slap BRICS with high tariffs if that comes to reality. What do you think about this?
Well, number one, the idea of single currency within BRICS, if there is ever that kind of idea, it's a long way to go. And Indonesia would probably as well would not think about having single currency among BRICS members. Maybe what President Trump and others were meant was the so-called de-dollarization, that these countries would not use US dollar currency as as a currency that will be used in all transactions. Of course, actually within ASEAN, we do have that kind of arrangement using local currency. If we are trading in certain areas,
which has been in place, right?
Which has been in place, but it's not something that would bludgeon into something into abandoning US dollar, because we all know the US remain strong economically speaking. So I would say that concern is probably something that at this point is far away to go. And I would say what is going to happen first, as Indonesia becomes a member of BRICS, we would trying to find, and the minister actually emphasized this, that we want to be innovative in our economic cooperation. While we are within BRICS, we are at the same time having our relations, economic relations with the US, with the European countries remain robust. And as you mentioned, we are in the process of becoming a member of OECD. So
anyway, what does that mean to Indonesia by being the member of OECD? So
OECD is another arrangement, economic arrangement, that once you become a member of OECD, you might have different treatment, for example, in terms of tariffs, in terms of investment, and so on. And OECD members is a kind of an advanced economy. So being a member of OECD would as well elevate the quality, for example, of our bureaucracy, because they have different standards. And then there are rules and regulation that we need to fulfill, and that would probably trigger reform within our country as well, because they apply different standard. And a different organization applies different standard. And OECD has their own regulation, BRICS have their own regulation, ASEAN has different arrangement as well. So that's why the foreign minister emphasized earlier that this is Indonesia's strategic autonomy in a way, that if we are joining a different platform, we would be a good member of that organization. We would be active, and we would be persistent in the shared goal of that kind of organization, because we have decided to join. So that's, in essence, being a member of BRICS should not be antagonized with being a member of other
organizations,
platforms, including OECD or any other organization.
It can go hand in hand.
That's right.
That's what we are aiming for.
And One of the things being addressed by Minister Sugiono is also about the global dynamics, right? For example, the various conflicts in various regions, including one in Palestine.
Yeah.
Now, my question is, how does Indonesia's commitment this year, 2025, align with these challenges?
The foreign minister during the speech this morning reiterated President commitment that if there is a truce in Gaza, in Palestine, and then if the United Nations decide to send peacekeeping a mission to that particular area of conflict, Indonesia would be ready to send peacekeepers. And for the record, Indonesia has been a good member of the United Nations in terms of providing and sending our peacekeepers.
Yeah.
And
Lebanon,
Indonesia ranked 4 or 5 in the UN as one of the largest contingent that ever sent by UN members. So this is part of the Indonesian commitment, and that's a concrete step.
Yep.
We do have the expertise. We do have a history of being a good peacekeepers in various conflict areas. So that's one thing very concretely that Indonesia can do, while at the same time pursuing our long-term goal to support a free Palestine. But we are in a conflict situation, and that needs some kind of pause, and then so we are able to send humanitarian mission and as well as peacekeeping if there is, if there will be one this year.
So Indonesia's support towards Palestine's independence and Palestine's rights remain steadfast, you mean?
That's true. It's been commitment of our country. Every president, since President Sukarno, we never back off from that commitment, and
Right.
we've been consistent in supporting the independence of Palestine.
Right. So Minister Sugiono today also acknowledged that Indonesia's vulnerability to various geopolitical challenges.
That's
We are talking about trade war between the US and China. We are talking about the tumultuous situation in South China Sea, as well as in the Middle East, and Russia versus Ukraine as well. So what measures will be the government to implement to address these concerns?
Right. During the speech, and it's been consistent with Indonesia's foreign policy, our DNA, Indonesia's foreign policy DNA is we always want to transform conflict situation into cooperation. So we don't want to escalate conflict, but rather we want to have cooperation in order to transform conflict situation into a cooperation. And for the South China Sea, our foreign minister reiterated this morning that Indonesia would continue efforts for ASEAN and China or overlapping claimants in South China Sea and China to strike an agreement that has been discussing for quite a long time on the code of conduct in South China Sea. And in various other conflicts, we are actively pursuing solutions in Palestine, Ukraine, and others. So that would be Indonesia's commitment. And number two, what is interesting that was said by our foreign minister this morning, we should really think about cooperation in order to prevent conflicts. And that includes commitment to multilateralism, rejecting unilateralism, because through multilateralism, we being a so-called middle power, we can shape norms and regulation together with other countries and create rules that would be followed by either big countries or small countries, because that's what countries like Indonesia can do.
All right, so hopefully we gain success with the joining of BRICS, as well as with the pursuit of our goal to join OECD full membership as well. So thank you so much, Pak Philip J. Vermonte, the spokesperson at the Presidential Communication Office, especially in Foreign Affairs Ministry spokesmanship. So thank you very much for the time.
Thank you for having me.
We are going for another quick break for now.
That's right, and after that, we will return to deliver some economics and business updates. Stay with us.